came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, and two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Danah's brethren, took each man's sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males.
Right, so Simeon and Levi, what did they do? They didn't put forth prudence. They didn't put forth thinking. They wasn't thinking about the consequences of what could possibly happen. They was moving in the spirit of just, well, really, they was moving in the spirit of rashness. Right? They was rash with their actions as well as rash with their mouth when you read this account earlier. And then what happened? Jacob was mad. He said, for you have caused me to my name to stink among the nations. Right? Because why? And at the end of the day, did that whole nation defile their sister? Or did one man defile their sister? It was one man.
Right.
But what did they do? They went in and slew a whole entire city of men and took the spoils from them.
Right.
Right? Why? Because they was moving in the spirit of rashness. You understand? Bring this out real quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse number 2.
Bring it out.
It reads, the rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. Verse 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil.
It said a prudent man foreseeth the evil. So a prudent man, what is that? What is all that saying? Let's say he think about the consequences or he think about the reactions from whatever decision he's going to make. He think about what could possibly happen from it, whether it be good or whether it be evil. He thinks about these different things. Go ahead.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished.
Right. Right. Since you are in Proverbs, go to chapter 16, Uncle Shah, in the last verse.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse number 30. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things, moving his lips.
Start at 28.
Verse 28. A froward man soweth strife.
He said what?
A
Forward man, so is strife.
And a whisperer separateth chief friends. Is that what you want? Verse 29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor.
He said what?
A
Violent man enticeth his neighbor.
And leadeth him into the way that is not good.
That is what?
That is not good.
Right now, it don't say which one out of Levi and Simeon, which one compelled which. But at the end of the day, both of them was what? Violent in their actions, and they both was moving without the spirit of prudence. You understand? And they caused both of them to what? To do wrong, ultimately. Because like I said, only one man did that, not the whole entire city of the people. You understand? But go ahead. What's like? That's it on that, right? Let's go back to that in 22. Let's read that again.
Do something up a little bit higher. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 23.
Bring it out.
The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones.
Right, and giving them what? Who they are. You understand? What to build off of. That's more important than what? Now we're going into not a rabbit hole, but we're going into something that ultimately not going to do them good or evil. Right? Let them get built up first. Let them understand what's most important, which is who you are. Who you are is more important than who can be saved. Go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and 13.
Right.
Esdras 9 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and therefore
Be knocked
be
out.
thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Right, so the Lord said, don't stop. Why you worried? Don't think about that.
Right.
Don't think about them. Here I am trying to give you your inheritance, and you saying, well, what about them? Right. All right, where's their inheritance though?
Right.
We treat, it's crazy because we say this all the time, but the way we treat we treat the other nations better than we treat our own people.
Right.
Ultimately, we understand that comes from what? That comes from the curses. Ultimately. That's how you know we got curses on our people. That's how you know we got the curses on our people. That's how you know we the Israelites.
Right.
Because we care more about the other nations more than we care about ourselves. We treat them better than what we treat our own selves. Right?
I was just going to say, even at work, man, you sit there and ask your supervisor before you leave. You need anything, right? You need any help with anything, or you need me to do this? Brother, you need to go home, man. Get your house in order.
Shit, they a good one. Right?
I know some things
Right?
like that, though.
See that? Right? But we can't. We gotta do what? We gotta move in the spirit of this right here, which is not. Don't worry about what's gonna happen to the ungodly. Why are we worried about what's gonna happen to the other nations? What about this? What about that? You understand? And then even if you did tell them, right? Go to the classic 1 and verse 70. everybody don't need saving.
Right, right.
How does a nation that got their own government, I say sometimes they got their own government, they got their own army, they got their own legislation, they got their own laws, they got all their own stuff. What do they need saving from? The spirit. The spirit, guess what? It ain't time for that yet. Right? It's not time for that. The time for that is gonna come. But guess what? It's gonna be way 1,000 years into the kingdom. That's when that time for them is. Not in 2025 right now, while you got God's chosen people that don't even know who they are. They don't even know the name of their God. Right? They don't even know right from wrong. Right? That's going around telling the people that you don't gotta do the things that's ultimately gonna make you right. Ultimately, the things that's gonna make you right, people are teaching you don't gotta do. But sisters is made.
Right.
Right, go to Proverbs chapter, verse 11. Read that one more time.
Exodus 9 and 13.
Bring it out.
And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
So you should be inquiring about yourself. You should be thinking about you, man. You should be thinking about you, your people. They say, all right, man, so hold on. So why these curses get put on us in the first place?
Right, right.
Why did the Lord do that to us? All right, well, how do we get out of the curses then? That should be the line of thinking of somebody that's finding these different things out. How do I help myself and my people? Not, well, what about this? What about that? What about them? All right, go ahead, bring this up.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse number 1.
Bring it out.
My son, forget not my law.
What the Lord say?
Forget
Not thy law.
Right, it's a bunch of people that forgot the law of the Lord. Right, do we got to keep the commandments? Damn, I see.
But let thine heart keep my commandments.
Right, we got to get to the top.
God, my son, forget not my law.
And like I said, it's a generation of people that forgot the law of the Lord. Go ahead.
Right.
But let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
Right, but you got people teaching that it's death unto you. It's death this, it's death that. Oh, it's not good. Oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Hold on. The Lord said what? The Lord said, hey, long life shall it add unto you. What's that long life talking about? It's talking about ultimately the kingdom.
Right.
You understand? But go ahead.
Verse 3. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee.
All right, we know what the truth is. The truth is what? The law, statutes, and commandments, right? That's Psalms 119 and 42. Go ahead.
Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
One more.
Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
This is the big problem. We got too many people that lean on their own understanding.
Right, right.
Instead of leaning on the precepts. All right. So when you leaning on your own understanding, that's what's causing you to think about the other nations instead of thinking about you and your people.
Right.
Right? Because guess what? Our ancestors, guess what? They was worried about their own people. They was worried about their nation. Right? The sisters, they was worried about their nation. Brothers, they was worried about their nation. King David, right? All the kings, for the righteous kings, they was worried about who? They was worried about their nation. They wasn't worried about, oh, this, that, this. Nah, they should was in order. Hey, that's what it was. Right? But our people have fallen away from that. And like we read in verse 1, it said, forget not what? My law. Right? Let not the commandments what? Flee from you, paraphrasing greatly. Right, go to the book of give me Sirach chapter give me Sirach 1 and 26.
Book of Sirach 1 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
What?
Keep the commandments.
Right, he said that's plain. And what the Lord said.
And the Lord shall give her unto thee.
Right. So these things still apply. You don't get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding by just saying I believe in you, Lord.
Right.
Right? I believe that you rose from the dead. And now the Lord just start revealing things to you. Nah, that's not how it works. Right now you know all the in-depth breakdowns because you said you believe that Jesus is God. I believe that Jesus is God. He's the Most High. Now you start getting the understanding. Right? That's not how this thing works.
Right.
You understand? That's not how it even works in real life. Even when if you're dealing with a woman. Right? No, you gotta work for it. You understand? But let's go back. Let's go back to this in Luke.
Come, it's the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 7.
Bring it out.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
Right? It said that we should be saved from our enemies. Meaning what? That's a physical thing. Some people would say that enemies is talking about these spirits. Right? But it said that we should be saved from our enemies, read.
That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
It said from the hand of all that hate us to do what?
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant.
And what? And guess who can't perform those different things today? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We can't perform what? We can't give up a sacrifice no more, man. Why? Because one, we not in our homeland. They might say we'll go back. Well, guess what? Even if we go back, guess what? We can't get in the temple. Right. They're not gonna let us in there. We probably gonna die if we try to get in there, man, or get locked up. But we trying to do what? We trying to perform what? The things that the Most High God gave to us. You understand? Say go to Jerusalem 3 times a year. Guess what? We went there. We wouldn't be able to put forth the sacrifice or take our money chains and turn them into or take our fruit that we yield. You understand from the ground and turn it into money to go do this and that. And that. We can't do that now, man. Who's keeping us from doing that? I wonder. Right? None other than the so-called white man.
Right.
So guess what? He will be a part of what? Those enemies that's keeping us from doing what we want to do, which is serve the Lord. Right? We can't serve the Lord in perfectness. Why? Because one, we not even in the land to serve the Lord in perfectness. You understand? We don't got cattle, livestock. Right? It's hard to get a lamb without spotted, without blemish. Right? Jake barely know how to skin a lamb, man. Jake well, I didn't say that, but right, Jake struggled trying to do that, man. So these different things ultimately come down to what? Come down to, let's read this one more time.
Verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies.
Being saved from our enemies. You understand? And that tied back to what? That tied back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 as well, and 68, when it said what? You shall be sold to who? The enemies. Who did we get sold to? All nations on the earth, right? That's right. Chapter 21 and verse 24. You shall be led away what? Captive into where? All nations.
Right.
So what? Who's the classification? Who is our enemies according to this?
All nations.
Because why? They all had a hand. Right? Give me that in Baruch. Right? Give me Baruch chapter 3. And start at 5 on the show.
Baruch 3 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
And it reads, remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we, verse 7, we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Go ahead.
For thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. Hear Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How happens
Understand what?
wisdom.
To understand wisdom, right? How do you get it? By keeping the commandments. So when you don't keep the commandments, guess what? You've fallen away from wisdom. Wisdom will leave you, right? Go ahead, let's keep reading.
How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land?
Yeah, how happened it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land? Right? Read.
Enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down to the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
You said what?
Thou hast
Forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
You've forsaken these different things. And what's that fountain of wisdom? They all tie hand in hand together. Which is what? These laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? But let's read on a little bit more.
God. For if thou hast walked in the way of God, thou shouldest have dwelt in peace forever.
Hey, brother, I like that shirt. Can we read you one scripture? All right, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
reads, and the Lord,
Appreciate you for stopping too. I know you ain't had to stop, so I really do appreciate you for stopping real quick.
and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
I said the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, right? You familiar with what that word Egypt means in the Hebrew? Okay, have you ever heard the term, you said what?
Like your destroyed land, like you had pulled out of your own Egypt.
Close, right? Y'all have you ever heard the term, I've been working like a Hebrew slave? Where was they at when they was in slavery? Right. So, the Lord is likened in Egypt to what? Being uncomfortable, bondage, slavery, captivity, because that's what they were doing when they were there. Right? So, let's read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Where you from, if you don't mind me asking? From Georgia? Well, like what? So, what's your ethnicity? Oh, okay. I was just asking. It sounded like a little accent a little bit.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, into Egypt, right? Bondage, slavery, captivity, things that are recognized with uncomfortable. Right? Like if you had some type of trauma in your past, and they would say it was a blue car, this Nissan, something, God forbid, but something tragic happened inside of it, and now every time you see one, it kind of bring you back to that place. Right? That's what Egypt is for the Israelites.
Right.
But let's read on.
With ships.
It said with ships. Right? So it's saying the Lord is going to bring you back, right, to the physical landmass in Egypt, or that state of mind and that physical thing of what you went through. Right, the physical things in which you went through in the land of Egypt. Right? It's saying for with ships. Right? So what is it saying all together? It's saying the Lord is going to bring you into slavery again with what? Right. So the point becomes, what people went into slavery on ships? What nation of people on the earth went into slavery on ships? So-called black people, right? Right, and the only reason we say so-called is just like, because nobody's white, like the color white, nobody's literally black, like you're not the color of your shirt, so you hear us say so-called a lot. Right, but the point is, y'all, you good? But the point is, y'all right, so-called black people are so-called African Americans, right? Who else? Was it only them? Yeah, that went into slavery on ships. You had the so-called blacks, the Hispanics, as well as the Native Americans that went into slavery via slave ships as well. So what's my point? My point is, we read in this in Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is Moses speaking to who? Who's his audience? You know it. You got it, brother. What is he calling these people? Well, Jew is just one tribe. You're right, that's not wrong, right? But these people have a particular name. Like they have this nation who he's speaking to, they have a name. Yeah,
there you go, brother.
There you go. That's right, because remember, Moses is a what? Moses is a what? He's an Israelite. And what did he tell Pharaoh? He said, Pharaoh what? Right, he said, let my people go. So the people that he led out was who? The Israelites, his people. So his audience is who? Right. So he told the Israelites, if you don't listen, the Lord is going to bring you back into bondage and slavery again with slave ships. Right. We all agree that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and that. Now I see you. It's clicking on right now. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans fulfilled a prophecy that Moses spake to who? The Israelites, saying that they were going to slavery on ships. So, right, exactly. So, what am I saying ultimately? Is the word African American in the Bible? Is the word Negro in the Bible? I know, I see what you're saying, but aside from the landmass, straight up and down, right? These terms that we refer to ourselves nowadays in 2025 were not the terms that we refer to ourselves as during the time of the scriptures. And we got to think about it. Let's put it in perspective. A lot of people think that the nations that you read about in the Bible are no longer on the earth. That's not true. They literally still here on the earth today. They just being what? They being called by different names.
Right, right.
There wasn't people back then calling so-called, like Greeks wasn't calling themselves white people back then, right? Or Americans. You understand? Our people wasn't referring to ourselves as black people, right? As far as a nation, or African American, as far as a nation. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the point is, who are we when it comes to this Bible? What nation can we read about in the Bible and say, that's our people? We just let you know who it was right now. Why? How do we know that? Because Moses is saying a prophecy into who? One last time. Right, who is this people? The Israelites. What significant thing that did he tell the Israelites that was going to happen to them if they didn't listen to the Lord? They was going to go where? Right, it was going to be inside. Right. And we fulfilled. So far, we fit that prophecy, correct? Can everybody on the earth fit that prophecy? Can every nation? Right. Only particular nations and people can. Right? So what am I saying? I'm saying we just uncovering the fact of who we are according to the Bible. Right? Which is the actual Israelites. Based off of prophecy. Because remember, Moses wasn't walking around calling his people black people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? David wasn't walking around saying, oh, my African Americans. You see what I'm saying? Or my Africans even. The word African is not even in the Bible.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to go back to the roots and who we are, right? Which are the Israelites. From one of the 12 tribes. Right? So you have 12 tribes. It's not just Jews. Jew, right, is just a shortened version of the word Judah. So a lot of people say Jews and they think that makes up an entire nation of people. That's not really true. Right? Jew is just one tribe. You have 12 different tribes that came from the man Israel, or who the world knows as Jacob in the Bible. Right, it's not about color. It's about bloodline at the end of the day, and specifically about who fits the prophecies in the scriptures, right? It's not a black thing or whatever the case may be, none of that. This is strictly based off of prophecies in the scriptures and bloodline. You see what I'm saying? So, according to the Bible, brother, right, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, right? That would be a God-given nationality, because everybody has a God-given nationality on the earth, right? Remember, God never called us black people, or Negroes, or Asiatic, or foundational black American. These are all new terms, right? So what I like to say all the time is, well, we want to go based off of what God called us or what man called us. Right. And what God called our people, right? You would be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, right? I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. This brother will be an Israelite from the tribe of Gad. You understand? We have different tribes. And it's important that we understand who we are according to what God said, because I don't know if you have kids or not, but if you do, or if you want to in the future, right, what do you do when you have a child? You give that child something. Right, you give that child a name. Right, we love to say, right, people in general love to say, I'm a child of God, I'm a child of the Lord, I'm a child of God, but what's the name that He gave to you? Right. Because God gave every nation on the earth a name. And all that is a bloodline of people you descend from at the end of the day. That's all it comes down to. Right? So the point is, brother, you God's chosen people, you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's right. Right? Can I give y'all one commandment? And then I can leave. Or do you got any questions first before I bring this out real fast? Okay, all right, I'm gonna give you one commandment. That's cool, King? All praise to the Most High. Right? Go to Leviticus 11.
Go to Leviticus chapter 11. Verse number 7.
Bring it out.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and the cloven-footed.
You know what swine is? Right, like pig, pork, so on and so forth. Right, go ahead.
Yet he cheweth not the hoof. He is unclean to you.
Right, so pigs don't properly digest their food. Right, and pigs don't have the proper amount of sweat glands like how other things do. Like us, we naturally sweat. Right? We naturally do what? Release toxins. That's why you can literally be sitting down or laying down and you wake up and you kind of be like, you know, your face is oily, or you know, you kind of sweat a little bit. That's because your body is naturally releasing toxins out. Pigs don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So the toxins that's within inside of a pig, they stay inside the pig. See what I'm saying? Right? But the point is, the Most High God said He don't want us to eat those different things. Why? Because ultimately, remember, God has a chosen people. Have you ever heard that before? Who is this chosen people? Right. So He's just saying, look, you have to act accordingly, right? And be a what? Be a light. See what I'm saying? So it said what?
Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their garments shall you not touch. They are unclean to you.
So the Lord deemed certain foods unclean unto us. What does this sound like? Because a lot of people think the law is like a bunch of, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Ultimately, that goes back to a what? It's a heritage. What's a part of somebody's heritage? What type of foods they eat, what type of foods they don't eat, how they dress, the language, what type of feast days they keep, like festivals and so on and so forth. That's a part of the heritage. So what we're doing is we're trying to give you back your heritage, right? Because a lot of people nowadays, what do people celebrate nowadays? 4th of July, right? We was in slavery during 4th of July, right? It's Christmas, right? Christ wasn't even born during the time of the winter time.
Right.
Right? He was born during the time of Passover, which is in the spring. The 1st, right? January 1st, the New Year's, right? The New Year doesn't start when everything is dead. New Year starts when what? When things are beginning to do what? Grow. So we've taken hold upon traditions and a heritage that's not ours.
Right.
Right? But the reason we do that is because a lot of our people don't truly know their heritage. So when you don't know your heritage, what do? You cleave unto other heritages.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what we have to get away from and come back to our heritage that the Most High God gave to us. Right? So don't necessarily look at these things as, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. No, this is a part of your heritage. You see what I'm saying? Right? So let's just finish this real quick for the brother. Right? And then we ain't gonna take up all your time, right?
Verse 9. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat.
So you can eat seafood, right? But there's certain types of seafood that we can eat as a people, right? If it got fins and scales, we can eat it, which is what? Salmon, bass, bluegill, red snapper, whiting, perch, so on and so forth. The list goes on. If it got fins and scales, you can eat it, right? But what the Lord said.
In verse 10, and all that have not fins and scales, in the seas, in the rivers, and of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So the Lord said we can't eat things that don't have fins and scales. Like what? What's something that doesn't have fins and scales, King? What you say? Alright. She on it. Right? Crab legs, shrimp, lobster, oysters, what is that? Crawfish, catfish, so on and so forth. So those things we can't dibble and dabble in.
Brother, you take a flyer?
Why? Because that's not a part of our heritage of eating those different things. And most importantly, the Lord said He doesn't want us to eat it. Right? And naturally, they what? They bottom feeders. Right? Their job is to cleanse the ocean. The Lord created a natural filter system for the earth. Right? But what do people do? They eat billions of it a year. Right? So now we're trying to figure out why the oceans is dirty. Well, that's because the natural filter system that the Lord created for the earth is constantly being what? Taken down and eaten. You see what I'm saying? But it comes back to what? These are the things that we're supposed to keep and do. Right? As who? As black men? Or as who? That's right.
That's right, brother.
Right, so the point is, brother, you God's chosen people, you're an Israelite, right? You gotta repent, come back to the Most High God and His Son, right? Keep these commandments to the best of our abilities, right? Patiently wait on the coming of our King, right? Did you get a flyer? All right, you got any questions about anything? All right, y'all enjoy your day, all right, family? Be safe, bro. All praise to the Most High, all right? All praise and honor go to the Most High God. With that, I'm going to pass it. Kwam Yashal.
Kwam Yashal.
Kwam Yashal.
Kwam Yashal.
Kwam Yashal.
Kwam Yashal.